Just outside Princeton, Illinois, sits one of the most secluded, magazine-worthy gardens in the state. Hornbaker Gardens is a destination center for plant enthusiasts, offering everything from perennials and trees to garden art and decor. Come take a look at all the beauty this garden center has to offer. Joining us today is Dave Hornbaker, co-owner of Hornbaker Gardens, which is also this segment's sponsor. Dave, thanks so much for inviting us out here. It is so beautiful here.
Thank you, and thank you for being here, Brandy. We appreciate you guys coming out.
So give us a little bit of background on Hornbaker Gardens and how it all got started.
My mom and dad started this 38 years ago, and slowly has grown over the years into what you see today. We started out as a smaller wholesale nursery, and then that grew into retail, and now my sister and myself, my sister Molly is CEO, and I am creative director, and we're second generation proud owners of Hornbaker Gardens and taking it into that second generation. And the two of us have an incredible crew, an incredible staff up in the office and down here in sales and out here in plant production. We've just got a wonderful team out here.
Yeah, a lot of hands-on here, because how many acres do you have?
This is 40 acres. There's about 15 acres in production. Yes, it is a lot. I call it job security. Plenty of job security around here.
For sure. So Dave, talk to us about some of the gardens that you have on display here.
Well, this is our signature garden. We call this the Hosta Ravine, and you could probably see why we call it the Hosta Ravine. There's hundreds of different kinds of hostas in here, and this was the first display garden that Mom and Dad put in back 36 years ago.
Really?
My Uncle Bob, my Grandpa Earl, and my dad built these out of stone and railroad ties. Those have since rotted away, and we've put in some nice new steps. But this is the garden that started all the rest of the gardens, and it's constantly changing over the years.
Yeah. So talk to us about some of the other gardens.
All the sunny display gardens without as many large trees shading the gardens would be across the road from retail there.
Okay, and I'm sure that a lot of folks come here and they get a lot of ideas for their own yard.
The idea of these gardens is to put plants in them, watch them mature, and when they do, it's a great example of what that might look like for our customers when they take home one of our plants and put it in their garden.
Yeah, and you talked about there's the different hostas that you have at this particular garden. Hundreds, you say?
Hundreds of different varieties, yes. I think we're selling about 400 different varieties, constantly taking on new ones each year and having to get rid of some each year. But it's amazing seeing what these hybridizers come up with each year.
So talk to us about the different varieties of plants that you offer.
Our slogan when we first opened up, Mom and Dad chose the perennial plant people. And we specialized in perennials, and we still do to a large extent today. But 12 years ago, Molly, my sister, took on annuals, and that's been a wonderful addition. We've got 2 greenhouses over here full of tropicals, houseplants, annuals, and the trucks have been rolling in constantly over these last 2 weeks, keeping that well stocked. So perennials, annuals, and then my favorite department is trees and shrubs. That is my area of interest, and oftentimes you can find me out there helping people choose the right tree, the right shrub, the right plant for their yard.
Yeah, I mean, you've been doing this for so long. You have all the background knowledge to help folks pick out that perfect tree, right?
Not all the knowledge, but enough to get them started in the right direction, and that's my favorite part of this job, is helping people, to inspire them, think outside the box, and come up with creative ways to incorporate plants within their landscape.
So besides all the plants, you also offer workshops and events. Tell us what you have coming up.
We do. Katie, who is heading up our events and all things workshops, is doing a great job, and she's got a lineup coming up here of all sorts of different fun stuff: terracotta painting, houseplant basics, kids containers, make and take, which is always a hit with the kids, crazy cat containers, make and take. You could tell Katie was the architect of that one. The tabletop herb garden make and taste, spring container make and take, succulent planters make and take. Some of those are evenings on the patio, which is a really nice way to end the day, come out, have a drink, and have some fun putting together a little planter.
Yeah, so this is really for the whole family. You have stuff for, you know, the adults and for the children.
All sorts of stuff happening this spring, and you can check out our website, hornbakergardens.com, events, if you're interested at all in checking any of those workshops out.
And you also have a garden walk and open house coming up. Give us the details on what you have planned.
That is an annual event that we've been having ever since the second year in business, when my parents decided to invite the public out to see what this place was all about. Put a lot of things on sale. We make sure we're fully stocked in just about every department. There's usually food, some drinks, and it's just always a good time. We always hope for good weather.
For good weather, for sure. And I mean, it just sounds like kind of people can make a day trip out of it.
We are a destination garden center, and people will drive up to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours away to visit and make a day of it. We encourage people to do so. Bring some food, Bluetooth speaker, hang out, and yeah, enjoy the grounds. That's what they're here for, and that's why my parents started this place. They wanted to share this little piece of paradise with everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that adding those workshops and events has really made this place a destination for folks across the Midwest to come here?
It really has. There is all sorts of stuff you can learn from those, and while being out, we're hoping that you take this all in and come away and learn something, maybe a new plant, a new way to use a plant, and come away with some sort of inspiration by the time you leave.
Yeah, everyone's so knowledgeable too who work here.
We are very lucky to have an incredible staff that, yeah, if you're ever out here and have a question at all, we can guarantee you that there's going to be somebody around that can help you out.
Yeah. How far do some of your customers come from?
Up to 3 hours away. It's very common for traffic to come out of Chicago, so that's a 2 hour, hour and a half drive. But we pull out of Chicago, Quad Cities, Bloomington, Peoria, from all around north central Illinois and beyond.
Well, Dave, it has been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us out here. It's so beautiful here. It's so beautiful. Again, this segment was sponsored by Hornbaker Gardens, and for more information, you can go to hornbakergardens.com. We'll also have all those details posted on ourquadcities.com.